Part of the transition that I've seen over the years has been for, and I guess it's the baby boomers that are driving this, is for better service. Years ago, the casket meant everything. Yeah. That meant more than the service. It's transitioned into, how do I customize a service? How do I personalize this service into making this a reflection of the person's life? And it's funny, my father came up with the slogan about 10 years ago. He's been saying it longer than that. We're here to help families heal. That's what he would always say. We're here to help families heal. So about 3 years ago, we were like, you know, that's what we really are here to do. So our job as funeral directors used to also be take care of the family, have the burial, let's go to the next one. And then we said, what are we doing? We're not helping families heal by doing that. So our business has started an aftercare program. We have two young ladies that are dedicated to calling families, to making sure they're doing the right things, to answering questions, to try to identify if they're not healing in the right way. The dilemma is in the schools. They don't teach you how to talk to a grieving widow or a family that's just lost a child. They don't teach you all that. And you're not even educated in it until you're put on the spot. And I mean, it's a learning process, and it's a painful process, because my biggest dilemma with this service is that I meet that family, they open up. I mean, they tell me everything. They bare their souls, and they're hurting. And then in a week's time, I'm kind of going about my business, and they've kind of gone back to their thing, and there's that gap, and that's where we try to fill it with the aftercare person that can come in and facilitate that. I mean, I bet you in a year I'll meet probably about 120 families, and out of that I probably won't know 20 of them. Yeah, so it's, whether it's knowing their cousin, their some family member, there's some connection there, and it makes it tough. I mean, it really does. I bet. And I used to say I would have to go to Ocean City and get away for a long weekend or something like that, just to get the break and kind of heal. Yeah. And with kids that are getting older now, I don't get to go anywhere anymore. But yep, we've had the hospice grief counselor come into our facility to talk to our staff and our funeral directors, and just to make sure that they're okay. And I mean, I think we've done it twice in probably 10 years, but the idea is there that these guys, a lot of our staff take it to heart. Yeah. And really do. I mean, I can say, I don't want to get too far away from what we were talking about, but the one thing that I've always told all my staff, and everyone in our company, this is really one of our backbones, is that if you put yourself in that family's shoes, and that was your mom or dad that had passed away, and you put yourself there, you will always make the right decision. Treat them exactly how you want to be treated, and we'll be fine. So I've seen both sides of it. I've seen the sides where families say absolutely nothing, we don't want anything at all. And then I've seen the sides where the families have the viewings and have the funerals and have the memorial services and go through the whole process. And I can honestly tell you that the folks that go through the process, whether it be a memorial service or a funeral service, they heal better than the people that are just, that don't. And I've seen that happen. I've seen it happen in my own family. And so things have changed. The grand monuments that they used to put for people have become smaller, and it might have to do with prices of granite have gone up. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. It's also, I think people are looking for simpler and more specific things. Years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, people were embarrassed to go see a psychiatrist. They didn't talk about their emotions and everything. Now, friends of mine see psychiatrists. They talk about it on the radio. Hell, well, yeah, well, I have my therapist, and I think it's great that they're more in touch with their emotions. And I think that where funeral service was starting to become just let's get the service over and let's move on, I think people are starting to understand that they do need to heal. It is. I've countless times we've had where the deceased has made their wishes, and when they do it and they do it ahead of time, it makes life so much easier for everyone else. But I've also had the time when the deceased has told, the loved one has told their buddy, hey, you know, I want to be cremated. And they told their wife, I want to be buried. And I've had them here at the table, and they look at each other and they go, that's not what he told me. We have a whole program where we say, hey, guys, get it down in writing. You plan, you get health insurance, auto insurance, hoping you don't have an accident. You get fire insurance, hoping you never have a fire, and a flood insurance, hoping you never have a flood. Why aren't you making sure that your wishes are followed out? And even if you don't prepay for your wishes or get insurance policies to make sure your wishes are covered or your family's covered, at least tell somebody what your plans are so that everyone knows. I get around to our different locations now. We don't have terrible many locations, but I get to our Easton, one down in Easton, and I always am helping my brother out on Kent Island or Centreville, and it's just our family involved in this profession. So we're real fortunate that we all get along. We're all close. We're all close in age. The next generation. Mr. Fellows retires in probably another 4 or 5 years. So then it's going to be just the 4 sons involved.